Reborn, the woman's eyes snapped open, her body drenched in cold sweat. The nightmare of having her eyes gouged out 10 years ago was finally overshed, returned to when she was 18 before any tragedy had occurred. The useless, legitimate daughter is back. The former victim clenched her fists, eyes blazing with vengeance, this time around shed. Make those who destroyed her family pay in blood. In her past life, she was brutally murdered by a scheming man and her vicious sister. That day, the man coldly said, "You're supposedly cleverest woman alive," yet you couldn't see through the person beside you. What use are those eyes? The scheming woman once smirked and admitted, "I never saw him as my father." It turned out her so-called sister was the family's biggest traitor, who single-handedly destroyed the 1,000-year legacy of the minister's mansion. Touching the scar on her face that once kept her from going outside, little did she know this weakness gave the second daughter the chance to impersonate the legitimate daughter in public and steal everything from her. Made prepare to go out reborn, this woman was no longer the weak eldest daughter. This time she would take the initiative and crush all plots in their infancy. In her memories, iron chains were nailed into her shoulder blades. As her stepsister mocked, "Cousin, look at my sister's eyes. They look like they could devour me alive." This was the beginning of all her tragedy. Her most brutal memory was the excruciating pain of having her eyes gouged out. The scheming man and stepsister destroyed her with their own hands and ordered her thrown into a mass grave to feed wild dogs. Now she would make them pay blood for blood. "Sister, why have you been so surprised lately?" the second daughter asked with fake gentleness. The protagonist laughed coldly inside. She could now see through this hypocritical mask to the snake beneath. Accidentally encountering the handsome prince, the legitimate daughter's eyes flashed. In her past life, she had caused him to be permanently disabled. Now, she would not only restore his health, but also use his power to overturn the entire political chessboard.